Hello everyone, welcome to Enlighten Study Point. The আজি আমি Class 9 Social Science Geography Part Chapter 2 Atmosphere, Structure, Air Pressure and Wind System সেই চেপ্টাৰৰ কুৱেশ্যন নম্বৰ 1 5 লৈকে লৈ আনিছোঁ। তো ভিডিঅ'টো ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰাৰ আগতে মই সকলোকে ক'ব বিচাৰিছোঁ মোৰ চেনেলটো ছাবস্ক্ৰাইব কৰি দিব। তো কুৱেশ্যন নম্বৰ 1, give very short answer. What is atmosphere? Write in brief with data about its structure. The atmosphere is a layer or set of layer of gases surrounding a planet held in place by gravity. It plays a crucial role in protecting the planet surface from harmful radiation and maintaining life-supporting conditions. The ability of a planet to retain its atmosphere depends on its gravity and temperature. Diagram to the composition of the atmosphere in the light of its gaseous mixture is shown in the chart below. Question number 2. What are the main layer of the atmosphere based on chemical composition of the gases? Write briefly about the characteristics of this layer. The main layer of the atmosphere based on the chemical composition of the gases are homosphere and heterosphere. Homosphere. This is the lower atmospheric layer and the chemical composition remain mostly same up to 80 km. About 99% of the mass of all atmospheric element is restricted up to 32 km from the Earth's surface. The homosphere is again subdivided into troposphere, stratosphere and mesosphere. Heterosphere. In the altitude above 80 km beyond the mesosphere, chemical composition of the atmosphere changes. This sphere is known as heterosphere. This consists of 4 layers of nitrogen, oxygen, helium and hydrogen. This is divided into thermosphere and exosphere. The density of the air is very little. Question number 3. Write with diagram about the layer of the atmosphere based on the variation in altitude and temperature and write the characteristics of the each layer in brief. A. Troposphere. It is the lowermost layer with an average height of 12 km. In the equatorial region, the height is about 16 km and in the polar region, it is 8 km. The troposphere consists all the water vapor, dust particles and 3/4 of total atmospheric gases. The temperature in this layer is more. The temperature decreases at the rate of 6.5 degrees Celsius per kilometer ascent. All the weather phenomena like clouds, rain, cyclone, storm, etc. take place in the atmosphere. The highest limit of this layer is known as troposphere. It is 1.5 km thick and the temperature reduced to minus 60 degrees Celsius. B as a stratosphere. This layer is just immediately above the troposphere. There are no weather phenomena in this layer. The air pressure is minus 60 degrees Celsius in the lower part of the stratosphere and the upper part becomes 0 degrees Celsius. The horizontal wind movement in this layer aids in the flying of the aeroplanes. The ozone layer is found in this sphere. The boundary between the troposphere and stratosphere known as troposphere. The stratosphere extended upward to about 40 km from the troposphere. The topmost layer of the stratosphere is known as stratosphere. C. Mesosphere. The layer above the stratosphere is known as the mesosphere. The layer extends up to 30 km height from the stratosphere. The temperature of air decreases with the increase in altitude. The minimum temperature reaches minus 100 degrees Celsius at the uppermost boundary of the layer known as mesosphere, which has an altitude of 80 km. D as a thermosphere. The layer above the mesosphere is known as thermosphere. It extended from 80 km to 400 km. It is the lower part of the heterosphere and the air temperature here increase with the altitude. Thus this layer is known as the thermosphere. The temperature rises up to 1650 degrees Celsius and the density of the air decreases to zero. This layer also contains electrically charged ions. Thus it is also known as ionosphere. The radio wave which are sent from the Earth's surface are reflected from this layer. Exosphere. The topmost layer of the atmosphere just above the thermosphere is known as the exosphere, which extends up to a height of 400 km to 10,000 km. The atom and molecules density of the air is very low. The most prominent gases are helium and hydrogen, which make the layer very thin. The temperature of this layer rises till 5550 degree Celsius. Diagram to side above. Next question number 4. Discuss with example the factor responsible for variation in atmospheric pressure. Air is a gaseous matter which has weight and pressure. Similarly, the combination of different types of gases which make the air also has pressure which keeps on changing with increase in the altitude and can be felt on the earth's surface. This is known as atmospheric pressure. Factors responsible for variation in atmospheric pressure are as follow. A. Air temperature. The sunlight that reaches Earth's surface does not reach all the places equally due to different geographical location altitude. This variation in the distribution of heat makes some area hot, some area cold and some area temperate. The atmospheric pressure is also defined as a result. The rise in the temperature results in expansion of the air which reduces its density and the air become light. Light warm air can carry more moisture from the water bodies on the earth's surface. The air pressure of this type of air is low. On the other hand, when the air becomes colder in the area of higher altitude, the air density increase and the moisture holding capacity is also low. Thus we see that the temperature affected the density of air. It is less near equatorial region and more in polar region. B. Earth's surface height. The area with higher altitude have less atmospheric depth. The amount of gases present in the air decreases. The weight of the air also decreases. Hence, air pressure also decreases. Thus, atmospheric pressure decreases with the altitude. With the rise of altitude for every 900 feet, there is resultant decrease in air pressure by 1 inch or 34 millibar. Question number 5. With the help of diagram, discuss the characteristics of the major pressure belt of the world. There are two types of air pressure in different parts of the earth. A. High pressure and B. Low pressure. These two types of pressure occur due to altitude, temperature of different places. There are four main pressure belts found in the world. Number 1. Equatorial low pressure belt. In the equatorial area which lie between 10 degree north latitude and 10 degree south latitude experience direct sunlight throughout the year. As a result, the air is warm and the density is low, causing low atmospheric pressure. The area consists of large water bodies and contain more water vapor due to high temperature, which again creates low pressure belt in this area. For all this region in the equatorial low pressure belt, the air get heated and move upward. There is no horizontal movement of the air, and the air movement in this is very calm. 2 number হয়ে গেল subtropical high pressure belt. The moist and light air from the equatorial belt moves toward north and south, and as it travel upward and it becomes cold and heavy, the cold air descends towards the subtropical zone in 25 degree to 35 degree north latitude and 25 degree to 35 degree south latitude. The cold air and the hot air mix up near the north of Tropic of Cancer and south of Tropic of Capricorn. The movement of air is downward and wind is not felt here. The air movement is downward and the wind is not felt here. 3 number, subpolar low pressure belt. The subpolar low pressure belt is roughly located in 60 degree to 70 degree north latitude in the northern hemisphere and 60 degree to 70 degree south latitude on the southern latitude of the southern hemisphere. Due to Earth's rotational movement, the air of the subpolar region deflects toward subtropical region and low pressure is formed, and there is fall in the volume of the air in both the subpolar belt. Point 4, polar high pressure belt. The polar region on the earth do not receive direct sunlight and is covered with snow throughout the year and is very cold. The air is also very cold and does not contain water vapor as water is present in the form of ice. The air pressure is permanently high and thus the air of the North Pole and South Pole are known as polar high pressure belt. এইটো ডায়াগ্ৰামটো চাব পাৰে। তো নেক্সট ভিডিঅ'ত আমি বেলেগ কুৱেশ্যনছবোৰ লৈ আনিম। ধন্যবাদ।